Alright, so apparently this is just the week of FNAF news. Just a few days after the movie teaser drop, we also get the Ruin DLC trailer. I'm going to do my best to give another breakdown of this trailer, but honestly there's a lot about the logistics of Security Breach that I don't know much about, especially the map, so apologies if there's a few details about where each shot is that I miss. And just to start out, I want to point out one thing. We need to keep an open mind about which ending this DLC is going to be branching out from. A lot of us automatically assume that the Burn Trap ending is the canon one, which is definitely what the game leads us to believe. However, there is nothing in this trailer that prevents the Vanny endings or even the bad ending from being the canon one. Anyways, without further ado, let's take a look. We start out with a shot of a kid, presumably the girl from the teaser image, breaking into the Pizzaplex through the entrance window. The Pizzaplex has obviously been shut down, newspapers covering the windows and graffiti all over the place. Then we see one of those drinking bird toys in a torn up hallway, which I'm not sure what the significance of is, considering it gets a whole dramatic looking shot dedicated to it. The first third of this trailer is pretty much filled with shots of familiar Pizzaplex areas like Monty Golf, the daycare, and Chica's Cupcake Factory, all looking abandoned and falling to ruin, as the DLC name suggests. Over all of these shots is the much more important narration that Gregory is giving us.
Cassie, I hope you get this message. I'm trapped here at the Pizzaplex, or what's left of it. I don't have time to go into how I got here, but you've got to help me out. Save me, Cassie, please. It's so dark down here.
This tells us the general idea for the story. We gotta save Gregory. He's trapped at the abandoned Pizzaplex, but managed to send the word out to a kid he knows, Cassie. Cassie. Oh no. I refuse to believe this was done unintentionally, but let's just put aside this obvious implication for now until we check out the rest of this trailer. Next, we see a very mangled Roxy, her eyes noticeably still missing, along with much of the rest of her body and face. I did actually like the more damaged versions of the animatronics in the base game, so it's nice to see that they are going even more in that direction. Next we see Cassie with a device that appears in multiple other shots in the trailer. From here on out, we can tell that our perspective is as Cassie due to the red sweater, beaded bracelet, and green painted nails. An endo then comes to life as Cassie walks past it, followed by a look at the ruined version of Glamrock Chica. Honestly, compared to the other two, it looks like she didn't get it too bad. Then, we get the payoff for the teaser that had been appearing on securitybreachtv.com, camera stations. This is going to be a full-on gameplay mechanic, having to use cameras to navigate past the animatronics. The UI gives us some hints as to how this could work. The top left acts as labels, Roxy Raceway 2, Cam 1. So it seems like there will be multiple stations per area, and up to 6 cameras you can switch between per station. The map in the bottom right gives us an idea of where each camera is, as well as where the player is. For whatever reason, escape and exit are 2 separate options, so there may be another menu at these stations aside from just looking at cameras. The bottom right has 2 more options, intercom, which is likely a way to attract nearby animatronics to a camera. Then there is E. I have no idea what E means. Also, if you pause the trailer at the exact right moment, for a single frame we can see another example of the security camera station in Monty Golf. We can see Cassie at this station. Also, this seems to indicate that the intercom option will only be available on certain cameras. There's also a strange dot on the map. The camera's not pointing towards it though, so I'm not sure what it could be. Right after this, we also get a clue as to what the device from earlier might be for. Cassie plugs it into some sort of electrical panel with a wrench on it and a battery connected at the bottom. Notice the same wrench on the security camera station. This likely is going to be a mechanic of rerouting power to different areas in the Pizzaplex, and you will only be able to have a limited amount of things operational at a time. Cassie then tells Gregory to run while speaking into a Roxy radio. It seems like this radio is how the two are communicating. This could just be a scripted event, but it may also be possible that we need to use the cameras to help Gregory himself navigate his way out of the Pizzaplex. After seeing a destroyed staff bot, we get a glimpse of ruined Monty, and wow, he definitely is looking worse for wear. Speaking of Monty, Cassie then jumps off a car onto the Monty Golf catwalk. Next is a random scene of Cassie hiding from Chica, then we get to see Monty again in all his glory. A lot of quick shots next of nothing too surprising. Chica getting carried away off on a conveyor belt, hiding from Roxy, then getting caught by her, and Sun and Moon are back, seeming to have merged into a single entity if the eyes are anything to go off. The final shot here seems to be the most important of all. In the Phaser Blaster arena, Cassie puts on a mask. We don't get a clear look at it, but the mask profile makes it clear that it has to be Vanny's. This might indicate that Vanny has already been defeated if Cassie has access to her mask. But once on, the mask seems to give some sort of augmented reality type vision, which then immediately cuts to a strange entity with rabbit ears stretching out its hand. We get a title card, Gregory tells us not to give up on this franchise, and the trailer ends after an admittedly surprising release date of 2 months from now. Okay, there is obviously a lot of lore implications here, and for the last part of this video I'm basically going to give my interpretation of what all this means. Cassie has to be some sort of parallel to Cassidy. Do I think that Cassie is literally some sort of reborn version of Cassidy? No, probably not, but just bear with me here. The entity at the end of the trailer is our antagonist straight up. They are Glitchtrap, or Mimic, or whatever you want to call it. It is what was controlling Vanny, and was the reason why all of Security Breach happened. But there is another thing I noticed. Sure, we hear Gregory a lot throughout this trailer, but we never actually see him. It's just his voice calling out for help. If the Mimic really is involved, could this all be one big ploy to lure Cassie into the Pizzaplex? With all of these little pieces, this is beginning to remind me of something. The Ruin DLC is the Princess's Quest. Cassie, our Cassidy stand-in, is lured into the Pizzaplex in order to save Gregory, but it was a trap, all in order for the Mimic to gain another thrall. Cassie will learn this upon finding Vanny's mask almost being corrupted by the entity, like at the end of Princess Quest 1. But she'll manage to escape, and like in Princess Quest 2 and 3 will go on the offensive. Her new quest to destroy the Mimic's influence once and for all. Or at least that's how I'm interpreting this. I'll be the first to admit there's not a whole lot of evidence for that. I just sort of like the idea of finally being able to have an answer for what Princess Quest means. If the burn-trapped ending really is the canon one, then the Princess Quest minigames were never completed. So it makes sense that in the DLC this real version of those minigames would occur in order to finally defeat the true villain behind the base game. That's really all I've got to say about this trailer, but it has gotten me excited for what will hopefully be an improved extension of a rather lackluster base game. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Hopefully no more crazy FNAF news comes out in the next few days so I can get back to working on my next basics video. Anyways, catch you next time.